So let's talk about the third installment of the Twilight Saga, Eclipse. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings my fellow YouTubers and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to you as the Big D. So I'm going to be bringing to you another review of the Twilight Saga, and that being Eclipse from 2010. Now if you've yet to see my reviews for the first two installments of the Twilight Saga, I advise you to stop the video at once and watch those before you continue on. Okay? I'll give you 10 seconds to stop before I go into this. Starting in just a few seconds, right about now. Alright, that way y'all can try and catch what happened. Of course, if you clicked on the card I put up, which will lead you to my Twilight playlist I just got, then you can see the first two films, okay? Just in case. Anyway, Eclipse, based on the third installment of the Twilight Saga, based on the book by Stephanie Meyer, and its 2010 companion novella, The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner. Anyway, while despite getting dissed by critics, this New Moon was a success. But this one, I'm going to say, did a little better and what have you. Now we have Kristen Stewart, Robert Pence, and Taylor Lautner back. Plus Billy Burke is back as Bella's dad, and Dakota Fanning as well. Bryce Dallas Howard now takes over the role of Victoria, who was previously portrayed by Rochelle Lefevre in the first two films. Well, it soon proved to be a big success and held the biggest midnight opening in the US and Canada box office history until it got surpassed by Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 the following year. Anyway, the film did even better, surpassed its predecessor with opening over 4,416 theaters. Anyway, let's begin our story. In Seattle, not far from Forks, Victoria attacks Riley Beers so she can begin to create an army of newborns with him in order to get her revenge on Edward Cullen for killing her true love, James. Back in Forks, Edward and Bella discuss the complications of becoming an immoral vampire. At 18 years old, 1 year older than the age Edward was when he became a vampire, Bella expresses her aversion to the idea of marrying so young, though Edward refuses to turn her into a vampire until they are married. His argument that she should have various human experiences she would otherwise miss. While her dad, Charlie, investigates the disappearance of Riley, Edward suspects his disappearance was caused by the newborn vampires, furthering his suspicions in Riley's intrusion into Bella's room. Although Edward fears for her safety, Bella insists that Jacob and the rest of the werewolf pack would never harm her, but Edward is still unconvinced. Bella goes to La Push to see Jacob and returns home unharmed. During one of her visits, Jacob confesses that he is in love with Bella and forcefully kisses her. Furious, she punches him and sprains her hand, and Edward later threatens Jacob and tells him to only kiss her if she asks him to. Bella even revokes the invitations of Jacob and his pack members to her graduation party, but when Jacob apologizes for his behavior, she forgives him. Meanwhile, Alice sees a vision of the newborn army attacking Forks, led by Riley. Jacob, accompanied by Quill and Embry, overhear this, which leads to an alliance between the Cullens and the Wolf Pack. Later, the Cullens and the Wolves agree to a meeting place and time to train and discuss strategy. During the training, Jasper explains to Bella that he was created by a vampire named Maria to control a newborn army. He hated his original existence, and upon meeting her, joined the Cullens with her. Bella sees the true bond between a mated vampire pair and begins to understand Jasper better. Despite her reluctance to marry, Bella realizes that spending eternity with Edward is more important to her than anything else and agrees to marry him. Edward and Bella camp up in the mountains to hide Bella from the bloodthirsty newborns. During the night, Bella overhears a conversation between Edward and Jacob in which they temporarily put aside their hatred towards each other. In the morning, Jacob overhears Edward and Bella discussing their engagement and takes off. Bella desperately asks him to kiss her, and she realizes that she has fallen in love with him. Edward finds out about the kiss but is not upset, as Bella says she loves him more than Jacob. Now to the ending and the final act. Now you know the procedure like always. Go to the description box below. You have 5 seconds of course. Go to the description box below. Fast forward to the time below to avoid the ending spoilers. Okay? Now if you've seen the movie already, continue on after 5 seconds. Okay? Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. When Victoria appears, Edward kills her while Seth kills Riley. The Cullens and the Wolfpack, meanwhile, destroy her army, though Jacob is injured, saving Lee Clearwater from a newborn. Several members of the vampire police, the Volturi, arrive to deal with the newborn army. They also see that the Cullens are guarding the newborn Bree Tanner, who had refused to fight and surrendered to Carlisle and Esme. Jane tortures Bree to collect information, then instructs Felix to kill her, despite the Cullens' efforts to spare her. When Jane notes that Caius will find it interesting that Bella is still human, Bella informs her that the date for her transformation has been set. Bella visits the injured Jacob to tell him that even though she is in love with him, she has chosen to be with Edward. Saddened by her choice, Jacob reluctantly agrees to stop trying to come between her and Edward. Bella and Edward go to their mill where she tells him she has decided to do things his way. Get married, make love, then be transformed into a vampire. Well, she also explains that she never has been normal and never will be. She's felt out of place her entire life. But when she is in Edward's world, she feels stronger and complete. And at the end of the story, they decide that they need to tell Charlie about their engagement. End of story. So, what did I think of Eclipse? Well, been some time since I last watched it, but I'm going to say it was pretty good. This made critics get a little bit of redemption over the last, considering they were harsh on the last one. But nevertheless, the film did pretty well. Anyway, I will say it feels like it's a good step up. Well, I did like New Moon, but Eclipse is a big step up. It went on to win several awards and what have you. But anyway, I really love the performances we got from the cast. Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, Taylor Lautner, all good. Peter Facinelli as Carlisle and Elizabeth Reeser as Esme. Let's see, Ashley Green as Alice, Kellen Lutz as Emmett. Gee whiz. And Billy Burke as Charlie. Well, despite we had a different Victoria Bryce Dallas Howard. Yeah, not too bad. We also got Dakota Fanning and let's see, Anna Kendrick back, several others. I'm gonna say, well, story's pretty good, and well, it expands on how we see Bella's love triangle with both Edward and Jacob. This really gets pretty intense in the final act the when this battle begins. But anyway, I feel like it's pretty good. I think this is a very good story in the Twilight Saga film franchise. So, and of course, there's a Howard Shore's score that was pretty good. David Slade directed this. I almost forgot to bring him up. Yeah, that was pretty good. After this film was so successful, as it went on to make almost 700 million worldwide, Summit Entertainment, who of course once again released this, greenlit Breaking Dawn, which would be split into two films, which I'll be reviewing next week, but I'll be reviewing them both separately, okay? So be on the lookout for those. But would I recommend Eclipse? I'd say yes, go for it. If you're a Twilight Saga completionist, you need to watch it, okay? Go for it. So anyway, that's all I'm going to tell you. Now, what are your thoughts on Eclipse? Please tell me in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button below, subscribe to my channel as well, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I talk about a very underrated movie that I should have talked about last year, but wasn't quick enough to, and it's going to be Coyote Ugly. Anyway, thank you very much for watching my review of the Twilight Saga Eclipse. And if you like this, see these other videos. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of the third installment of the Underworld series, which is a prequel, Underworld Rise of the Lycans from 2009, which came out the same year New Moon did. Or if you or go to the upper right hand corner for my review of an underrated horror sequel, that being Scream Blackula Scream from 1973, or if you just want to take a break from the vampires and werewolves, go to the bottom left hand corner and see my review of Burlesque with Cher and Christina Aguilera, and the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.